Actually, should probably tweak Charlie's camera. Maybe a little bit. His head's being cut off by the header.
There.
I actually can't really see what I'm doing. I can just kind of sort of see movement.
See the movement, but you can't actually see much else.
Yeah.
Well, no, we kind of gotta adjust the living room layout, anyways. Also, can everyone hear us? By everyone, I mean the one person who's there.
Okay.
It looks like our mic is acting. Vex, can you talk?
Yeah, I'm talking. That's what I'm doing.
Figaro. Anything?
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have problems with you being too quiet last game.
No. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so you're here.
We're here.
Where did my tablet pen go? How?
Did you eat it?
I did not eat it.
Do you feel any sharp pains?
I mean, yeah, but that's something else entirely.
Okay.
As my mother would encouragingly say, if you were more organized, bad things wouldn't happen to you. This is why I go to therapy.
Who, might I add, is
Yeah.
a disorganized mess. And I'm paying her.
Oh, we were talking about the therapist, not the mother.
No, I was talking to the mother.
Okay. So, when last we left off, you all had finally,
Escaped your weird trap room.
yes,
Escape
Well,
the weird.
escaped. You had been released from the weird trap room, which was actually just testing your metal, as it were, and unlocked the hidden entrance to the Reinhardt family estate. Underground.
Check everything for mimics and pornography. What?
Roll.
Ah! Ah! No, it's not a character.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Perception.
Is it perception or investigate?
Well, technically, I guess it would be investigate. I do want to warn you, though.
Oh, good.
Mimics, there's the normal ones. One of the ways that they get you is when you put your hands on it, your hand sticks. So you are looking for mimics or pornography. And one of the telltale signs of a mimic is a sticky surface. So by all means, roll investigation.
But Charlie, what is one of the telltale signs of finding pornography?
Sticky surface?
9.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's January Thursday. The anvil issue, my favorite.
Hammer. Anyway.
Okay, I'm already convinced.
How you doing over there, Mariah? On purpose, you're here. On purpose. It's no one's fault but your own at this point. So.
No. No. Oh god, I was about to say, don't blow the bellow. We have expensive things in this room. Then I looked around and part of my soul just wanted to start
I
crying.
think that's the most expensive thing in the room.
Sure.
The mic.
Yeah.
My laptop.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how much you pay for your laptop.
I was gonna say the GM.
Closing in on a grand.
Yeah, okay, that's most
I was gonna say the
expensive.
GM screen. That's nice.
It is.
Actually, no, the tablets probably are competing.
So,
yeah.
so no pornography. That's what I hear.
None that you see.
Probably more like dwarf photography, actually.
Yeah. It's probably this beautiful inlaid, frescoes as I'm carved into the walls. I wonder what's behind. Yeah, okay, we don't need to go into this room.
It's just giant pornographic mosaic in this wall. He's sickening. Looks like a family portrait. Oh, come on, look at her sideburns. She's practically saying it.
Oh, I'm glad that module I showed you.
Why would I look at you?
Okay.
The economy?
Yeah, that's how. So no mimics, no porn.
Now that you say like it, you once the trap room kind of when you like you walked out and then the door closes behind you and you're in a fairly dark room, but it looks
Oh, God.
from your point of view,
Yeah.
criminal. It's just it looks like a storage room. Like there's wooden crates. And some of them are broken open, but it doesn't look like there's anything like.
How big is this room roughly?
This particular room is only about 20 by 40.
So a little bit bigger than this room.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably
the door behind you kind of slides shut, and then you hear this like rolling of stone, and then the door opens up again.
Okay.
And you walk out, and you see Grimnall just kind of standing in this room.
Birch, you're alive. You're well.
We knew this. We had the potato conversation.
I know we had the potato conversation, but what are you doing over here? I do not know.
You hear the sound of a sword being unsheathed, and suddenly the room is kind of bathed in light. Right here.
Ah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that entrance never fails to us.
I still have the glow bulb.
Yeah. Goodness. I used my detect mimic and I found nothing.
So you fondled all the walls.
Pretty much. Some of them I pulled to the sword.
Right.
Is there anything in this room?
Again, it looks like a storage room on first glance. Well, like first glance, there's like wooden crates. It looks like there's furniture. You see like really nice kind of like old table. It's got like the chairs kind of on top of it and a sheet over it. And...
Is it chairs?
Yes, they're just chairs.
I'm taking a look at the furniture.
Really nice. It's old.
Good craftsmanship. Like,
yeah.
Dwarven nice or elven nice?
It's wood.
Nice.
Okay.
So like dwarves have worked with wood, but they don't really like it because.
Doesn't last.
Yeah, dwarves are. They want something to last, which is why the majority of their
stuff,
especially mainly their tables, they will use chairs for like seats and stuff like that because the wood kind of gives a little bit, and it's even dwarves know stone on a butt is not that great.
Fair enough. So
but as far as the table goes, like both of you can look at like this is a noble person's table. Like there's like inlaid carving and.
So I guess we found the storage room.
So checking for exits, entrances.
Okay, there's one door on the far end of the room, and if you were going to check around, you would need an investigation.
I will poke around. Shitty ass investigation. Ooh, nice. 18.
Okay then.
Nice. I'll get in on that action as well.
But you already did yours.
You did yours.
Oh, I did. Then I ignore that dice roll.
It's too bad. It's a nice one.
Yeah, it was.
So as you're going around the like the broken open things and stuff like that, you find rolled up. It looks like tapestries, but you actually come across that trope of like the big portrait with like kind of like half of the sheet kind of hanging off of it. So you pull it off, and you see this family just kind of sitting here. It's very like.
We've been sitting here for 5 hours.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's like the plaque. You kind of look down and you kind of clear it off, and it's just the Reinhardt family, and it gives the number for the year.
Well,
what do you find, Roach?
it's the Reinhardt estate.
You look miserable. That's how you can tell this good family.
A good portrait that they were actually there for.
True. I found door. That room.
I mean, I did notice the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just thought there might be something useful in here, but no.
Like what? Chair, table, forces of unhappy Reinhardts.
Weapons, gems. I mean, noble family. storage room.
Why don't you take a look for weapons and gems?
Nope.
Nothing. It's just really nice.
With the angle, I'll take into consideration your other investigation roll. This is a storage room.
Yeah.
Where you keep things that you don't necessarily need or want to display, apparently.
So, why are family portraits in storage room? Maybe he has nicer family portraits somewhere?
Nicer family.
Ooh, that hurts. Take another look at picture.
Mhm.
It's like just going over like, okay, that's probably him. That's probably her. And these are probably like, are we going like back multiple generations?
What
Like
year was
great
this
grandpa? No, like great grandpa,
It's-
parents, and like, am I looking at 9 people, 6 people, 4 people?
It dates about maybe a century ago,
Okay. Is this
maybe longer.
Is this like one of these portraits? You know, the old timey ones where they try to force as many generations into the picture as possible.
No,
Is it one of
it looks like
those? You know what I'm asking?
yeah. No, it looks like the there's about 6 people in the portrait.
Okay.
There is, you can easily pick out the matriarch and the patriarch of the family,
Yeah.
and like their 2 eldest are on either side of them,
Yeah.
and their youngest are in front.
So parents and 4 kids.
Okay.
You both can make a history roll though.
Ooh, remembering. Why did I roll 15? That seems way too high for someone who's not even from this area.
9.
Um,
I remember breakfast.
Potatoes.
Yes. All memories.
breakfast. Oh, just pulls out a potato. You actually you recall just from hearing people talk about it, especially given your first foray into the stuff that you've been doing around town, like finding the kids and finding that underground little mosaic thing regarding the Reinhardt estate. There was one particular guy who he became a lot like the Tsar Nicholas I from Russia, who looked at his dad, who was a tyrant, and was like, "Hold my beer," and then because he watched them, he was not well liked, he was hated, and then he died, and people celebrated his death, and then he became worse. He was the guy that effectively turned his back on people while there was a genuine problem within his province that needed to be dealt with.
Okay, when you say this was the guy, you mean the parent or the kid?
The parent.
Okay.
Or sorry, no, it's the youngest son. He eventually grew into that guy.
Okay, so the youngest was the mega tyrant. The parent was the shitty tyrant. Okay. So this is right before
Mm-hmm.
they basically got themselves burned out. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So I think this is the group of them that encouraged the revolt.
I think so too.
Grigori.
I feel like we should ask Grigori who ended you know him.
Grigori is the one that like Bert said, he was the one that kind of spurred the revolution, not in his family's favor. His father, Anatole, he was just as bad, but Grigori took it to a whole other level.
Wasn't quite as bad.
Anatoly was still a warrior. He at the very least made sure that all of his children knew how to fight. Everyone had studied the codex. Everyone had studied the monsters. All of it.
Gotcha. So an asshole, but a useful asshole.
Very good. Let's get to the storage room.
Go.
Let's see what's in store for us now. Opens the door.
Potato the head.
So, are you actually hitting with the potato?
I'm mime throwing it. I'm not actually.
Okay. Good.
Might actually be the crossway. Anyway, opening the door.
Okay, so
That is an overreaction.
So you open the door and it's a castle. Like when you go out of this room and it's the kind of it's dirt covered. You're pretty like you're positive you're walking on stone.
Okay.
Just because you know the feel of it.
Are we going up or going down?
Straight.
Okay.
Okay, so the storage room was at the very end of a hallway.
No, the storage room was the room that you came out of from the.
No, Mariah's asking the storage room. Go through the door.
There's only one direction to go.
Oh, well, there was one direction to go from the room. When you open the door, you kind of there is. But it's effectively an elevated hallway. You are not on the first floor.
So usually you've got a balcony view of the first floor.
You're not even sure it's the first floor because from your perspective,
The floor.
you're still underground.
I'm gonna grab a handful of loose gravel and just kind of throw it down the hallway.
Okay, so but is it? It's like
It's about 10 feet. The balcony is about I'll say about 10 feet across. It is made out of stone. It has a railing and it goes in both directions.
okay, so that makes more sense.
Over top of that, beyond that, there is there's a little palisade on the end of the balcony for a reason because it goes further down.
Okay, so
Um,
I think I understand where we are. So I'm just gonna grab like
what's
some
the palisade?
the palisade.
It's like a
those
a
walls
railing.
with the watchtower. Those are palisades.
think of it.
There's a watchtower inside.
No.
No. Etsy.
I
For Etsy.
I may be using the wrong word. Anyway, it's effectively just like that little railing, but it's still made out of stone.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so there's just so it's stairs basically.
As there's
No, it's like on the edge of the balcony. It's to keep people from falling over the
So
edge.
okay, so it's got a ramp. There's no exit off the balcony.
Left or right.
so
Okay, but I thought you said. Okay, you know what? Thoroughly confused.
I
So
understand.
there's left or right,
Mhm.
and there's doorways at left or right.
You can't really see that beyond your
Okay,
your
so
scope of
let's do-
vision.
Getting back to what I was doing, I'm throwing gravel down there to make sure, just to test for traps, anything pressure related.
You do so.
Okay, everything's fine?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So, shall we go right?
Let's go right. So going right. Using my it is not kind of action. I detail. You can use a bonus action to make a perception check to spot upon approach hidden creatures or objects specific or decipher for clues. I'm specifically looking for any indication of traps, monsters, ghouls, that kind of thing.
Got it.
Once bitten, twice shy. Sound effects. 20.
Okay. So, you hear it first,
Okay.
and then you see it looks like someone just like walking down, like it's at the very edge of your vision. It's just it looks like something like you caught like it looked like a tattered cape
Okay.
of someone like just slowly walking away, like it's just outside of your field of vision. You're pretty sure had you not been like looking in that direction, you would never have seen it because you didn't hear it.
Okay. Give me one. Is the crossbow going off right now?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm kind of I'm doing the military gesturing to Birch and then that there's somebody up ahead that I see. So I'm stealthing up
I turned my light off.
Okay. You can no longer see.
I am listening very hard.
So I am keeping an eye on them, but I am stealthing up ahead
Okay.
to see what's to hopefully get there undetected and to see what's going on. I've got the crossbow ready to go, and I've got my sword drawn. So stealth check.
Yep.
23.
All right. So you kind of crouch down.
Okay. Shimmy up there. Get to where our friend is. Trying to see a little bit more about them, where they're going.
Every time, because you go forward, and it's probably about 180 feet.
Yeah.
That you go forward because he's always at the edge of your vision.
Yeah.
And then you see him kind of like hang right, and you get to the corner and kind of like duck around. And once again, he's just walking away. You get the feeling that this is like a fairly large like square kind of building because you hung a right.
Okay. Multiple times.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna nip back and definitely grab Birch and Memnon and take him to where I last saw him.
Okay.
So who was it?
Do not know. Keeps on the edge of my vision, but everything in the square building keeps making right turns.
Wait,
Which means we're either going up or going down. Good.
so turn the light back on.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of talking, you're like, and you turn the light back on. 10 feet away from you is this clearly undead because rot, but fairly well dressed.
Swords out.
When you say fairly well dressed, are we talking like a servant, a soldier?
Oh, he's armed, very well armed. If you had to hazard a guess, he's he's a hunter.
But very undead.
Oh god, yeah. Like there's gray skin. It's kind of rotting.
Wait, you can see him?
I can see him too. Or?
Oh yeah, everyone can.
Okay, so yeah.
Like Memnon's sword is out.
All right. Shooting it and stabbing it.
I'm actually stopping you. If it's not making aggressive moves, I'm stopping you.
Okay.
It's not attacking. Just sidle around it.
Okay.
Basically, what is it doing?
Just standing there.
And it looks like the same ones that are always in my periphery?
Hmm?
You said it looked like the hunter things, the unhollowed things.
He's dressed like a hunter. Like
Okay.
there's multiple. It looks like there's a weapon on him for every occasion. Like he has like a light crossbow, like hanging at his hip. There's a 2-handed sword strapped to his back. There's a couple of smaller swords at his belt.
Is it doing anything?
Nope, it's just kind of like.
Why are we not shooting it?
Sorry. Just going to memory for a second.
Okay. Memory tweak. Memory tweaks are good. Memory tweaks are good.
So, any questions? Hello? Can you understand me? Are you thinking? Wave? It's not attacking. It's kind of weird. I still have my swords out.
Wait.
I walk right, see if it follows.
Its gaze still stays forward. It doesn't move.
What do we do?
Every part of me doesn't like undead, but I've never met an undead that doesn't just attack it for sight.
Okay, so
Kind of with Birch on this one.
I think we just move away very slowly, very quietly, and keep our eyes on it.
Yeah.
So just
So like Memo has his sword out and
I'm doing we just got the last case of craft dinner and we're leaving the store with it. The rest of you back the fuck off.
Looking at a zombie horde with a grenade, like
Yeah,
it's ours.
that's kind of it.
Once you kind of like get out of its direct path, it starts to kind of move forward. You note that it's not shambling. It's not like dragging its feet or like like that. It's just walking.
It's not creepy at all. It's very creepy. Alright, let's keep moving. Maybe it'll go some other way.
Where is it walking?
Toward-
Is it after us or
No.
just in a direction?
Just going left.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, no, totally. Was that the thing you were following one of these?
Yep. Was definitely one of these, but I kept going right.
Wait, how many times did it go right?
Twice.
Went in a circle.
The guards.
Right turn, right turn.
Yes, I know. 3 rights make a left.
That is not at all helpful. Never mind. How have you? You know, it's not. Let's just.
So as we're going down the balcony hallway, I'm just trying to see if there's any doors branching off or anything like that.
There's probably a door every 20 feet.
Open the doors.
Okay, so the first door you come to is locked. Like you just it's got one of those like iron handles where you kind of like lift it up because it lifts the latch on the other side. And the moment you kind of like that, you see the undead thing just kind of.
I tell you this.
The guards.
The goddamn from the other side of the door. The question is, what is on the other side of the door?
And is it worth getting into a fight over?
It's a very good question.
So, first door. Locked. So question, do we break the door down or not?
Can only be pick a lock. It's a latch.
We used to pick locks.
If you have thieves' tools, do that, and it's a combination of thieves' tools and sleight of hand.
What do I have in my inventory?
I have an explorer's pack.
You're a rogue and you don't have lockpicks?
I might have locks. I do not have locks. One, I am not rogue. I am scout. Was stealth. Now, I'm an accomplished urban professional in my field of expertise. Thank you very much.
And normal, accomplished urban professionals are capable of picking locks.
Oh, I do have these tools.
Huh.
Okay, so
Oh, thank God.
You kind of you're rooting around. You kind of look at your bag, and the reason why you started talking is because you saw the deck of cards,
yeah.
and you're just I am glad that this was not part of the illusion. This survived. If for anything else, this made it worthwhile. Oh, there's a thief's tools underneath it.
I was scout, noble profession, the military, noble profession.
Noble profession.
Thieves was very dirty. They do not. I just break in and take things that belong to the enemy or poison them. I do not do thieving things. I do not sell them for new whores. Now stand by while I pick this door.
So you're just like taking out this. Okay, so the way this works is if you proficient in thieves tools, you're effectively rolling your skill and you're adding your proficiency bonus to it.
I don't know if I'm proficient with.
Are thieves tools under your proficiency in your proficiency box? Under tools?
Where's the tools box?
It's under.
Oh, there it is. I have.
Where'd you see?
Under proficiencies and languages.
There.
On the bottom left hand corner. Where it says armor, weapons, tools.
No,
languages.
I do have proficiency with it.
Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be rolling sleight of hand. Hello.
Hello.
So
We are not breaking into rooms and not stealing shit under the watchful eyes of undead guards. That would be unethical.
It's fine.
Yeah, we're
Everything
totally
is,
We're
doing that.
scouting.
We're scouting. It's honorable profession.
so you're going to be rolling the slave hand check, but you're going to be adding your proficiency bonus on top of that because you are using a tool that you are proficient in.
Stupid question. Where do I find the actual proficiency?
Your proficiency bonus is top right in between your charisma and your walking speed.
Okay, so I rolled a 15 so far.
Mhm.
Adding a...
I believe it is a 2.
Yeah, so that's a 17.
Okay, so yeah, you now, given the, I'm going to ask. I will only ask this once. Given your surroundings,
I sacrificed Birch to save my life. That was the question, right?
no, but
Oh,
good to know for future reference
Alright.
for no reason.
Oh. Stop looking at me. I mean, right. Please continue.
That's when I blacked out, Your Honor. I didn't see a thing. The damnedest thing is weird. Kind of thing came over my eyes.
And that's also when the
I think it was like a temporary cataract. It was just the strangest thing. I heard screams. Anyway, so you're 17. Now, as I said, given your surroundings, given what you are currently going through and what is happening, are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah.
Roll stealth.
And then my reason for being stealthy is it's the old scouts instead
Yeah,
of picking it.
Absolutely. Well, as I said, like given your surroundings, given what's so you're looking at this, and it is old metal, and you're like unless the entire door is enchanted, that means that metal has already started to corrode and rust, and like this is not going to be a it's not going to be quiet at all. Because you can look at the door and you can see points of rot.
Can I
And then
see that you're trying?
And you just see him just kind of like go in, and this is when you're starting to look at the door and like the hinges and going like, oh, this isn't gonna. And you kind of when you look back and you're about to say something, you see criminal. He's already got the door open about a half inch. Like, we're good.
Carefully, slowly, soundlessly. Push the door open.
You given what you used to do for a living, given what your wife used to do for a living, you know the best way to stop a door from squeaking is to kind of lift it.
Yeah.
Because the weight on the hinges is normally what causes it. So you just kind of like lift it a little bit. Scooch it. And scooch it.
There's some secret moments when we were going to the bedroom and did not want to wake little one.
You know the talking is stealthy, right?
This is going on in his head.
Oh.
Okay, so going into the room, taking a quick cast around.
Seems to be a study of sorts.
Okay.
Similar size, about 20 by 40.
You
like
two
more.
are in?
Yep.
Yeah,
Alright.
Memnon kind of steps in.
Okay. Gesture to close the door behind him.
No, close it quiet, like. Don't just swing it.
So taking a look at the study, taking a look at the desk specifically. Desk and if there's like the equivalent of a waste paper basket, because usually when people are working on things, they don't notice they make this first thing.
Unfortunately, this is you can tell that this is a rich person's study because there is no waste paper basket. There's a fireplace. Rich people don't make mistakes.
They burn them.
So
Yes, to erase the evidence.
going over to the first of all the desk, take a look around.
It is a nice desk.
Yeah.
This is a very nice desk. Like whoever sat here was important, or at the very least thought very highly of themselves.
Yeah.
I checked the fireplace to see if there's anything that's not burnt to ashes. That should be pretty easy.
Remnants of logs, but even then, you're certain if you stare at them hard enough, they'll just crumble.
Yeah.
Okay, going through the desk, going through the drawers. Anything of interest, noteworthy?
Well, you're going through the...
Pens from the bank.
There's just plenty of quills, but like the inkwells have long since dried up.
Yeah.
While you're checking the desk, I'll check the rest of the room.
Alright, I'm rolling for investigate.
Mhm.
Alright, if there's...
I rolled poop.
I got 16.
Yes, this seems to be a study.
Are there any books anymore? Or have they all dustified?
Well, in true book fashion, especially in old school book fashion with like the hard leather covers and stuff like that, you don't know. There are bookshelves lining both ends of the wall, but until you touch them, you're not gonna know if the paper is still in one piece.
Mammon,
Mm.
have you been in many dungeons like this? Or
It's not a dungeon.
have you been in many
It's a castle.
castles or old places like this?
Not in this continent, no.
Okay. I love the ideas. We keep coming across things, touch them, it's all dust, there's nothing momentarily looking for
I want
clues.
to see if there's any interesting titles on the books now.
The one thing you kind of keep focusing on, and it seems to be like every single hunter in your fucking head is just kind of going, ooh. And that's it. Because you're like, all right, starting at this point, I'm not there yet. What? And like, there is actually a pedestal with a glass dome and a book underneath it.
I'm going to check the door. I'm not opening the door. I just want to make sure that our friends are not like poking about. We're about to open the door and crash it through.
No.
They're okay, so I'm just investigating room, other doors, other exits.
No.
Nope, that's just it.
I go to the glass dome pedestal book.
Okay. Okay. So you go over, grab a chair, sit it down, climb up. Put that down. Look at it. It's effectively the Reinhardt Monster Codex.
Does anyone have a book preservation spell?
I wonder if we could get this desk out of the front door. Never stuff the desk. This is nice desk.
I mean, this
Why would I cannot stress enough why.
because this looks useful, and I don't want to touch it because I'm worried it'll crumble into dust.
No, not that. That makes sense. Desk.
I'm just admiring the desk. It's very nice. Mouse. Feel warm and everyone takes its place and it's cocky lots of
Yes.
Well, it is.
Yes, it is. Ignore the mess.
I'm ignoring the mouse. I leave the desk here. It is a nice desk.
It's in the drawers.
Nothing.
That's cool.
That's my understanding.
It's nothing really of note, and if it was of note, it's not of note anymore.
We have a bunch of old quills. What I assume are expensive. Quills now just spells like dead bird.
Yum.
What did you find? Oh,
I
look.
don't have anything note.
Alright.
This important book when they put them somewhere. I mean, you took the jar off, both did not crumble, contact with the air, did not grow teeth and try to eat your face off. These are good signs.
It is very difficult to argue with that logic.
I mean, yeah, it's not completely destroyed. Alright, well,
And usually when something terrible happens, it happens within seconds of doing something, and we've been here for almost a minute and nothing bad.
very gently touch like the corner of the book that doesn't have writing on it in case like, that crumbles. I haven't destroyed anything.
Oh, it like the cover of this book is like hardened leather. The corners have like those metal caps to it.
Yeah.
Whoever had this book commissioned paid a mint.
Yeah, but it's also over a century old. So
You would never know.
in which case, so I'm going to very carefully do that first, and then try turning a page.
Wait. I want to take one quick look at this.
Hmm.
I want to see if I feel like that. I want to check and see if the pages are actually parchment or vellum, or if it's just metal that is like incredibly like micro thin. Because metal like that would last, like like filigree.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, which is probably the wrong word. So
When-
investigation.
No, it's fine. Like when you open the book, it is I think it's vellum.
Vellum sheepskin.
I'm not letting you touch the book.
Yeah, it's like you can tell by looking at it. It's vellum. Like it's going to last. It's not going to last long like that as long as like other things, but it's high quality.
So it's high quality and it looks like
It has like the opening thing. It has like the Reinhardt family crest on the first page, and it's like in like effectively old common.
So it's effectively the Gutenberg Bible. It's ancient, but it's still vellum, well preserved,
Yeah.
well looked after. And so even though it's that old and you have to be careful, people have been careful.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
You turn the page and the page is blank.
I turn back to the page I was on.
That's the cover page.
Oh.
That's the crest on it. Start flipping through, they're all blank. What's wrong?
It's blank.
Well, all of them. Then walks over and actually like goes into his bag and pulls out like just a pair of gloves and
thank you.
thank you. What do we think?
Have a good one. Good luck. I think I know.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Why is it blank?
I couldn't tell you.
So I take it you can't see anything in it?
No, I mean I can see the book and the pages, but there's nothing written here.
Well, that we know of. Perhaps it needs sunlight or some spell or
Yeah, well, I figured. Well, you told me it was like it was the Reinhardt Monster Manual, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's in Old Common, which you can. It's like reading Old English. You get the gist of it. Like it just pretty much is like it says Codex.
yeah.
So I thought maybe I don't know there might be a spell in it that limits it to.
Don't you have a bunch of hunters in your head? Don't they know?
Well, they all thought the book was real shiny.
Well, if they're not wrong,
Yeah.
thank you.
None of
Maybe.
none of your hunter friends know exactly what's outside patrolling the halls?
It's not really how that works.
Because quite frankly, that is still bothering me. Every part of me wants to smite the undead thing, but I have
But why are
never
they
once
not attacking?
come across a relatively intelligent undead creature who just seems to be going on. Make a perception roll.
23.
As he goes on and continues to describe the thing, words start to appear on the page, and a picture of a similar looking, but like it looks like this particular one looks like an angry undead thing that has a noose around its neck. There's a couple of other pictures of it. It looks like something that just crawled out of a battle, something.
Keep talking. I'm
What?
reading the book.
About what?
Yeah, the zombie.
I pretty much described it.
Okay, well, show book.
When you're reading the book, it brings up a revenant.
It's a revenant. Is
And-
rentals aggressive?
Yes and no. In the north, they're referred to as Draugr. All revenants are vengeful spirits, but Draugr specifically normally cling to their graves, unless something disturbs their peace, or in some extreme cases, their family, or tries to steal from them, because a lot of northern tribes bury all of their belongings with them. So a lot of times a burial mound is raided by thieves, and then the body wakes up and destroys the thieves, and then goes back to sleep.
But they tend to cling to the graves.
That would stand to reason. Most rich, most wealthy noble families have mausoleums in the basement.
Yeah, but these guys just wandering around their house, basically.
Yeah,
Would they not have been buried?
they would have been interred.
So, how does what work? You name a monster that shows you.
Or describe what's going on and then tells you what monster it is? Or what monster it might be?
Well, describe different monsters. Describe the mimic.
True, this one would actually have information about that exact one.
See, not just pretty face.
I don't know if I go that far.
I was talking about you.
Roll the table.
Please.
Towns, mimicking living people, houses.
You say the word mimic, and the codex just like it flips open a few pages, and it comes up with your standard stuff about mimics. At the end of the passage, it comes up to the alpha, the progenitor, the thing that you fought.
Monster Google only.
Okay. Wiki how?
Mickey Howell?
Ooh.
You know, you put a lot of thought and stuff, and it just gets dumbed down to the lowest common denominator. I thought this is a really cool idea for this book, for, you know, a hunter to have. And it turned into D&D Google. It's my life now.
You think Bex?
That's where I'm at. How are you? Anyway. No, you don't. You fail.
I mean, I think it's pretty damn good. I want to read what it says about the album.
Well, it's pretty much everything that you've discovered. Like a couple thousand years ago, the Reinhardt family was
There's nothing new in there, basically.
not really like you knew that it wasn't native to this particular continent.
But now it might as well be.
I can't see it. Only Birch can see it.
No, you can see it.
Birch, to see if there's any mention of us killing it. I want to know if it is keeping up to date or it's only things it's already experienced.
Take a look.
It's dead.
No, it straight up says it's dead.
Is that
It all it says is it lists the year, and it was slain by an unhallowed into
is that this year?
yeah. It was slain by a dwarven adventurer, an unhallowed, and an adopted member of the Reinhardt clan.
Dating, this is amazing.
This is amazing. This is the single book I got encountered.
And if we take it, the zombies are gonna attack.
That's interesting.
Revenants. Wait, if you're howled, you're not stealing from them because isn't this part of your birthright?
Hey, just
Actually, wait, no.
well,
You're adopted. Maybe you can take it out of here. You're technically part of the family.
that is not. I don't think that.
You got a better shot than me.
Let's stop something else.
The ghoul. The one, the children.
We're on an undead kick. Are we actually going to talk about the rest monsters?
No, let's find out about the ghoul.
Birch holding the books like mentions rust monsters. Pages flip open a little bit, and Memnon points to the wall and goes there. And on like the third row, 3/4 of the way down, one of the numbers, like that's the sigils on the spines of the book,
okay,
is slightly illuminated. So, this codex is this entire library.
That's really cool.
I don't get it.
It's very tiny. Everything that the Reinhardt family put down, they put down in separate books.
Ah,
Do you
okay.
think this book is only so big?
That book is intrinsically linked to the Reinhardt family's library.
So the book actually gets out of the building.
Maybe, but I don't know.
That's a very good book. Do not lose that book. However, we still have to deal with remnants,
Yeah.
of which we know there's at least 2.
Yeah.
Probably many more.
Probably, considering we met them in like 30 seconds.
I will go and take a little look outside and see if they're still there.
Okay.
So, I don't have to, like, pick the lock everyone.
No.
So just kind of very quietly, ajar, stealthily opening up the door. Stop looking at my shit. It literally tells you my dice rolls.
if you look at your character sheet, his roll or their roll will come
Okay,
up.
but that's easier than opening up the new tab and switching to this.
Oh.
It is easier. It's not like it's a super secret.
It is a super secret. This is all a mystique that is my character.
Mystique. Okay, so
Mystique.
yeah, you open the door and just watch this revenant just walk back.
Lose everybody. I don't think they can.
Yet.
To be fair, we haven't taken her out of the room yet.
To be fair, you have not taken it out of the
I'm
room.
not taking anything out of the room. Are you kidding me?
Well, you can take both with us.
Alright.
But we're not member of Reinhardt's. You're a member of Reinhardt's.
I'm not the one holding the deed.
Oh, good point.
Does that matter to reference?
I think so. I mean, if they try to kill you, you can point out this workplace.
Okay, time to test?
See, I told you intimidating the noble would be worthwhile. Don't worry, we have you covered. No matter what happens, Vandon and Grimnall will die defending you.
Well,
I seem to remember being the only one who died.
See, you're good at it. You have experience.
you got better.
Yes, see, thank you, Mama. Much better, I'd say you look better now than you ever did.
Somewhat.
So, you see Memnon's eyes kind of like glint purple a little bit, and he's kind of like looking at you, and he kind of looks over, looks at the book. Interesting. Tables magic. No
The
idea.
desk.
Yeah. No idea what it is though.
Put book on desk.
He seems.
Man, I'm so glad I didn't activate that spell.
It is good as long as I don't stare at it.
Put the book away.
Where?
I'm gonna actually wrap it in something and then put it in the bag.
Yeah, it's on the on the thing underneath the case. There's that like fine leather kind of blanket that you
Protective
put it
cover,
over and you stuff it in your bag now.
Okay. So bag. So the desk is magic. What
Looks
kind
like-
of magic?
I don't know. Enchantment, I think.
Like illusion?
No. It's an enchantment.
I'm gonna go under the desk and look at it from up below and see if there's anything I can see.
Nope.
Nope.
It's a desk.
Oh.
It is
Oh,
made. It is made out of genuine tree wood.
Oh. It's definitely a desk. Okay. Well, can't figure it out. Let's. Anything else interesting?
That I can see.
Right, let's go.
Okay. Swords are out.
And yeah, going out in the hallway, scouting and following the path down to see what's next.
I will go ahead of you because we're worried about me triggering the Troggers, actually.
Okay, you go ahead, but I'm right behind you with my dark vision.
Okay.
I got my glowy stick. You might want to turn the dark vision off.
Is that how that works?
No.
It's not. No, it's not like
It's-
dark vision. It's not night vision.
Yeah. So dark vision effectively just they can see in absolute darkness, but it's just in black and white. It's not like It's not like it like inverts the spectrum at all. The way that.
Okay, so it's not like. Well, I've got the glow light on. I'm just gonna straight up go out the door. Swords are ready in case they
Yeah.
Okay.
undead attack.
So
Crossbow, is it going off? Is it ringing anything?
Nope.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading up on Nietzsche.
yeah. Close the door behind you, and all three of you are in the hallway. Start moving down. You hear the Memnon kind of like draw his sword. That's new.
What?
He holds up his blade and it's not glowing.
What happened to glowy blade? Why is it not glow?
And then you hear that.
Sounds angry.
You see Memnon just like grab the glow and the drift globe and kind of like toss it up a little bit, which is just like
Cast light further. Yeah.
and you see two revenants just barreling towards you, like they're on the far end of the thing, and they're just like they've split up and they're.
How fast are revenants compared to people? Like
People speed.
Okay, so are we talking like 28 days Olympic athlete people speed, or just normal living people speed?
Well, one of them was a hunter, so I'm guessing they're athletic people.
If you want any details, you would need to know more stuff about.
Well,
Hold on a second. Where is that special ability?
maybe that's what comes to turn them off.
You want me to take out the book in the middle of a fight?
Yes, I want you to take a book in the middle of fight.
Instead, I'm going to activate my hunter's sense.
Okay.
So, any damage, immunities, resistance, vulnerabilities, and whether or not it's hidden from, and what those vulnerabilities are,
Mhm.
and unless they're hidden from divination magic.
They are not. It actually takes a moment for the like a full round, which is far longer than it should take, because it's like it's trying to barrel through like some sort of barrier. It's like if it was protected on against from scrying, it would just not work.
Right.
This is kind of like seeing through something, and then the vision becomes clear.
That's weird.
Speed is speed's 30 feet. The damage resistance is necrotic and psychic.
Resistance. Product.
It is immune to poison. It is also immune to the poisoned condition, the stunned condition, paralyzed, frightened, exhaustion, or charmed conditions.
Poison, stun, paralyze, charm. So it's immune to poison, stun, paralyze, charm,
Exhaustion,
exhaustion. Okay, so basically it's not living.
frightened. Yeah. It also regenerates.
It's my healing magic, regeneration. Okay.
It also has the lovely ability. When the Revenant's body is destroyed, its soul lingers around. And after about 24 hours, the soul inhabits and animates another humanoid corpse in the same plane of existence, regains all of its hit points, and then continues after the thing of which it's sworn vengeance.
Put the book back in the room.
So like you. You get to the door, and this shimmer of purple happens when you bounce off of it.
So apparently, even if we destroy the body, the soul's gonna hang around and then inhabit another body and come out the press again.
Well, what exactly do you want us to do here?
How do you destroy a soul?
Is that the question? I thought you were looking how to turn it off.
Okay, can you guys buy time and I'll see if the book says anything more?
Alright. By time. I should have been a time merchant. That's all I do. Grimlow, go scout, buy time. Grimlow, go assassinate, buy time.
As you
Pulling
were
out the sword.
bitching, I'm reading.
So I'm taking a,
Roll initiative.
and I get to roll twice because of the crossbow.
Yes, that is with advantage.
Somebody was reading up on their character sheet.
19.
I will take the 16. Yeah, the accent kind of grows on you, doesn't it? You start using it and it just kind of seeps into things.
It's this particular setting that I rather enjoy.
There's an accent setting? What?
Well, this particular setting is
Oh,
mostly
so
like Eastern European, so.
Ah.
Okie dokie. So, Birch.
So I think we can confirm that they do not give a shit about the fact that I have the deep. Open book, try and see if it says anything else about the remnants. Like how to make them not mad.
Make an investigation.
Specifically, you're trying to depower them.
You are really panicked, to be fair. Like,
Killing them doesn't work. What?
I mean, it does.
For a day.
Well, yeah, but they could. I mean, technically, it's also the nearest body, and if you're in a castle that was built on a mausoleum for the family, I mean, it's pretty close.
Okay. Short sword. I just want to make sure I get this right. If it's my turn next.
Yes, it is.
Okay. If I short sword and then and then use insightful fighting, as a bonus action, you can make an insight check.
Or you could make the insight check before you do that, and then your short sword.
Okay, so the bonus action doesn't always have to follow.
No, you can take. You can take the. Your actions do not go in order. There's no specific order that you.
Wasn't sure about
need
this.
to do anything.
Let's do the insight check.
Thinking?
Is it insight check or is it
Insight. Yes.
Yeah, it is insight. Let's do insight first.
Now that is defended by charisma.
Which I assume zombies do not have much charisma.
It's
Revenants do.
Really?
I think it's deception, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's deception.
It works.
Okay.
You barely pick out pick it out because the way this thing is running, he's a vet.
Yeah.
It takes a moment, but when it starts to kind of move, it has that same hitch in its step that it probably had in life.
Okay.
So its left flank is probably a little bit more exposed than the right.
Okay, so I'm going to crossbow that one for all I can.
Okay.
Yeah, hand crossbow. 24.
Oh, you hit.
Goddamn. So that gives me my. So I get this and my sneak attack on top of it, correct?
Yep.
Nice.
Nah. I'm just trying to see the dice rolls. There we go.
That's a 6, adding the sneak attack. So that's not. So it's 12 in total.
All right. That open. End of your turn.
Yeah. I can't take anything. I did that.
But you still have your move action. But I mean, if you're guarding,
I'm
the
the shield.
So I'm assuming I can't use my swords when I'm reading.
Yeah, no. I mean, they can be out technically, but like you're not going to be.
Well, if you get lucky, it might hamper it.
Okay. So Memnon takes a moment and kind of gathers himself.
Okay.
And his sword starts to emit light again, but this time it's not the way the blade normally glows. It's the way the blade normally goes is kind of like this nice, like silvery blue, like moonlight.
Yeah.
This starts to glow like that whitish, yellow tinged, radiant light, and his eyes kind of glow a little bit, and he's like, "All right, fine, we're gonna do this then." And you see him kind of like, yeah, and he starts pairing blades and kind of kicking back the revenants as it's going through, and you see him kind of cast a glance at the door that has that shimmer over it now, where you left the thing, and see, Birch, there's a gem above the door. You look above the door, and it's kind of built into the stonework, where there's just it looks like the crest is there, but in one side of the shield, one of the things, because it has like, it's got like the shield and there's a line down the middle of it, and it's like a sun kind of motif on one side and it's a crescent moon on the other. The crescent moon is, you can actually see it now, like it's a gem that's been cut there.
Oh shit.
Destroy it.
Okay. I will do that on my turn.
Alrighty.
Got it.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. It's really gonna hurt. Why? Why you gotta be like? I'm so glad that was the first roll. No, nothing you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me, but
I'm not dead now.
oh, okay. I'm still hurting, but okay. So 12, 16, 18 plus 11, 16. Ow. So 34 damage later.
To Memnon.
Yep.
Wow.
This thing opens up, and it's just.
Please tell me that was a crit.
It's 2 attacks. One of them was a crit at 2d6 plus 4. I rolled minimum damage for the crit. The other one, however, I rolled out of the 2d6 part an 11. So, and I was just like, I'm so glad that wasn't the crit roll. The other Revenant is not here yet. He will be here in the next round.
So my turn?
Yes.
Okay. I'm taking out the bow and arrow and I'm shooting the gem.
Okay.
$24 to hit.
It hits. Yeah.
Do I have to roll damage?
Yes.
7.
Okay. Yeah, you 24. All right. You make it a small target, so the AC goes up, and then you just don't give a shit. So you.
I rolled an 18.
I mean, yeah, you fire off an arrow, and it actually chips apart a part of the gem out of it. It shattered which kind of breaks it, and you see that purple image just kind of like stutter a little bit, and it looks like it's kind of flickering in and out. But there's in between the in and out stage, there's a significant gap in timing.
Okay, I run through with the book while it's and my swords. I'm grabbing my swords. I'm not leaving them out there.
Well, I just figured because you had the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can run in, and the moment you're back in, shield comes back. The shield comes back up, and
do the revenants stop being pissy?
no.
Fuck. Okay, put the book. Reading the book.
Okay.
Completely, so you guys don't have to try and guard me while I'm doing it.
In the room.
Mm-hmm.
Shield has gone back up.
Yep.
Revenants are still very angry.
Oh yeah.
Does shield stop the revenants?
It give me an insight check actually.
Alright.
19?
Yeah.
They're trying to get past you.
Okay. So I have no idea.
Like you're stuck with that thing of like, if I try to let them get past them and find out that they can walk through the shield but I can't, that leaves Birch.
The revenant I shot the hip.
Mhm.
Did it slow him down? Did it hamper him?
No.
Did it not?
It is still undead, so
By the way, how much damage did you do when you did that?
12.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
It is still undead, so like while you do physical damage to the body,
It no care.
it doesn't really care about the damage that it has taken. It will eventually hamper its movement, but it is nowhere
I'm
near
not
bloody
trying
at
to
this
kill it after what Birch read out loud. What I'm trying to do is it still has to obey the laws of physics.
Oh, yeah.
If
If it's got one leg, it's gonna be hopping.
So you understand? I'm trying to hamper and hinder it to the point. I don't want to kill it.
If
I
you
don't want it
can,
into a better body.
if you consistently say like I'm just attacking one leg and it gets bloodied because of it, then yeah, it's gonna be moving at half speed.
Yeah.
But
That's exactly what I'm
yeah,
doing.
but it is nowhere near bloodied.
Okay. So I'm going to take another shot with the crossbow.
Okay.
Ooh, that was not good.
No, it was not.
And I am going to disengage from it.
So get out of 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get out of arm's reach with it.
All right.
So
You don't trigger an opportunity attack when you do that. do
No.
you?
Not
that's
when
what I did.
not when he disengages. No.
Nice.
I don't need to kill it. I need you to figure out what's going on, and I need to keep it busy for as long as possible.
Yep.
Those are like very different outcomes. But because you did the speed reading, we know what not to do, which is to kill these things and send them into better bodies.
That actually wasn't speed reading. That was my special ability.
Okay, but fair enough.
Yeah.
Knowing is half the battle.
Knowing this is scary as fuck. I mean, worst case scenario, we get 24-hour respite, but
Or you figure out how to turn it off or shut them down.
that would be nice, yes.
Garbage. So Memnon kind of like you shoot, like you fire at it and it kind of like dodges it, goes through its cape and it takes a step back and it takes a step forward. Memnon kind of elbows it in the face and then rears back and his sword kind of like flares a little bit and draws it across his chest and there's an actual like that line where it cut glows a little bit and you hear that hiss
Mhm.
and it howls in pain. Mm-hmm. Divine Smite is a thing.
If you use this divine smite, won't the soul just go into?
Oh, it effectively what he did do is because if the regeneration works and it's something unless the thing has taken fire or radiant damage
Okay.
before its turn,
Okay.
it will heal like 10 hit points every round. At the beginning of every one of its turns, unless it's taken one of those things. It just took radiant damage, so it's not healing.
Okay, so
Yay.
so basically, crossbow bolts are useless.
It's not useless.
useless.
You're still doing full damage. It just
It will
heals
heal.
at the beginning of every
So as
round.
long as it gets hit by you and Memnon, it will heal.
So, got the room. We're on the We're on the path.
You guys are on
And
the
there's a railing, and on the other side of the railing is several stories down.
Yes,
I thought it was one story.
you didn't look over. No one looked over.
All right.
Whoops.
Well, I know what I'm doing next round.
All right, Birch.
Read.
It's the same thing that you've read
It's not. There's no more information. There's no information on how to make them stop. Okay, so how to destroy like can you tell me how to destroy Revenant's soul?
Um,
Book.
Normally something like a wish spell would force the soul into the afterlife, but the only other thing that it offers, it doesn't say, and like it doesn't ever consider its own family a threat, or I don't want to say servants, but like,
Household.
yeah.
Damn it, Memnon. We should have totally given the book to Memnon.
You know, Memnon's been like, it doesn't seem to matter because Memnon's he's bloodied currently.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe it wouldn't have pissed them off if, or are you saying like it wouldn't have attacked him at all?
But it did attack him.
If that were the case, I mean.
If it were the case, yeah. So there's something else. So like your brain would immediately assume that there's something else at play.
Okay, well, there's no more information in here, so okay, so I'll pack the book back up quickly, and try and bounce out of the shield while it's fitzing.
It has stopped. It has since stopped fitzing.
Oh, for fuck's sake! All right, I'm gonna see if I can shoot through his shield.
Okay. Bonk. No, you make your roll. You're rolling to fire upon an empty doorway. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna look around the room, see if there's anything to help. Something. The desk was magic. The desk was magic. I don't want to waste a spell, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
Where are the damn spells? Spells.
Under spells.
I was looking at around buttons.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast my detect magic.
Okay. What are you looking at?
I'm looking. I am kind of looking at the whole room, but I'm mostly ignoring the books because I know what the books are about. I'm trying to see if there's anything that might be. Is there like a family crest, anything like that on the desk?
Yep.
Anything.
There.
And also anything shut on the shield.
There's that in on like those really nice desks. There's that pad where people would like put down their paper and they would write down. So rather than to write on the wood itself, there's that and the inkwell are both glowing individually. Like the when you're looking at it, the entire table is glowing. Mm-hmm. But the predominant magic is the enchantment magic, which is coming from that pad and the inkwell. The rest of it just looks like some sort of preservation type thing.
So pad and inkwell. Okay, interesting. And is the pad a pad? It's just like a leather pad.
Yeah, it's just it's that thing, but it has like the top left hand corner of the leather spot, the crest.
So it's not like a stamp or anything. It's actually part of the pad. Grab them and then take
it is affixed to the part of the table.
See if I can find some paper that's not in the book.
That's like you open the drawers and kind of like do that thing where you like you see paper and you go to grab it and your hand just goes through it and you're just that is an unsettling feeling.
Yeah. Okay. Can I have a piece of paper in my bag? It seems like a relatively mundane thing to us, but I know it's like ye olde times, so I don't know if that's worth having.
Would you have a piece of paper in your bag?
I don't know. Like that's.
I mean, technically you do, but
not the book.
No, that's not what I was talking about. But like,
just
Like if you were a wizard, absolutely, you would have plenty of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave you there so we can get to Grimnall. Grimnall.
Yep. Got a plan.
Okay.
Buy us more time. So one of them has been thoroughly incinerated.
Oh God, no.
No.
It
It's
had been dealt radiant damage, so it didn't heal.
Okay, so
It's more pissed off now, but
and is it the one I hit with the bolt? Okay, so I want to do an attack and try and push it over the ledge.
okay.
Effectively, it will probably land. Probably, I don't know. It just buys us more time.
Yep.
Okay. So what am I doing?
Push attack
Is
would
that like
be
an unarmed strike?
technically yes. You would be. I think it's that or an athletics check. Yeah. Push attack. There's actually a game move. That's not at all what I was looking at, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hopefully, there's a lot of stairs for a climb.
Push it over the edge. All you hear is this Revenant. Just hate me forever. It's just some bullshit. Okay. Okay, so there is a feat where you can do this, but that is so effectively what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing an opposed athletics check. If all you want to do is like shove it,
Yeah.
then yeah, just an opposed athletics check.
Because I literally can't think of anything I can do that will actually have impact. So athletics. No, I hit Arcana. Sorry.
All right.
Was right above it. That's athletics, which is worse.
Worse.
What'd you get?
I got a 7. Can I burn an inspiration for this?
Actually, you know what you can do? You can roll with him. You can roll with advantage.
Okay.
Because Memnon's like you just kind of like come up behind it and grab it like German suplex style, like just around the waist.
Okay, 16.
And the moment you do that, like Memnon just grabs it by the leg and just like, so between the pair of you, you just yeet this thing over the side. You get to the railing and it's like throwing her over the top rope and just and you're just like. Good. You kind of look to your left, and the other Revenant is just. Oh, God.
Yes.
Revenant checking part 2.
Rich, I don't ask for much. Do whatever you do more faster, please.
I'm trying.
Try less, do more. I say this with the amount of encouragement and wisdom and affection I can muster at the moment. But please, hurry!
So Memnon kind of stands up, and it kind of barrels in with a sword and a sword in one hand and an axe in the other, and he's just parrying. It missed both attacks on him, so yay! It is now Birch's go.
If I can't find any paper, I'll grab one of my random pieces of clothing because I've got traveler's clothes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab the ink, and I'm going. Is it an embossed crest?
No, it's like a.
Damn it.
Picture like a police badge, but like stamped into the.
So it is. So it's 3D. It's kind of embossed.
Well, it's metal, but yeah. Like if you were gonna do a rubbing, you'd be able to do it.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay.
So I'm basically trying to do a rubbing of the crest with magic ink from the magic pad onto my clothing.
Okay.
Why?
Because they don't attack members of their household. And I want to see.
That's actually really clever. It's actually incredibly clever.
So what do you have to do the?
And I got traveler's clothes.
Yep.
and I got the magic ink, and I got the pad. If I need to, I will dip a corner of the hem in the ink.
This would be a weird mystical version of forgery.
It's actually probably, I've never heard of anything like this before. This is actually just cool points all around. Like that, actually, that, even if you don't get it off, that's actually really clever.
I guess deception?
Aww, that's like one of my worst skills. 9?
Because you're using ink, it's less of a it's less of a rubbing and more of like a blotch.
Okay, so that didn't work. Maybe if I could press it and like try and trace the
You know,
negatives.
find a book that's got the crust on the cover. What?
No!
That's just a thought.
What's wrong with you? Treat books like that.
Also, magic pad, ink. I suspect this has actually got some importance.
I saw it on Turner and Hooch. He was actually in a warehouse, and they actually had the crust, and the crust was like a faux police shield, so he cut out one of them, slid it in his wallet, and just flashed it at the guy. And he's like, yeah, I am actually with the Bureau of Investigation. We're like, whoa. Can I see your badge again? Are you my boss? We've got questions until like. Anyway.
Yeah, and you're also finding that like your traveler's clothes
Rough.
are very rough. Like they're meant for survival and weather. They are not meant for that. they soaked up the ink.
Wait. We still have the magical armor on that makes us appear like.
Oh, actually, try mimicking the crest with your clothes.
You're yelling at me?
Yeah.
Try mimic the crest. Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Reinhardt crest cloak, go.
So your tunic,
Yeah,
kind of shimmers a little bit, and you get actually something very, very similar to what the Revenant is wearing, just not rotted.
okay.
And the crest is right there, and you see the Revenant kind of like glare at you, and it's still snarling and attacking Memnon.
Good news! It's not attacking me. Better news, you're a genius, Birch. Bad news, Memnon does not have this ability. Hang on, I know exactly what to do. It's absolutely foolproof. Absolutely nothing will possibly go wrong.
Cue explosion.
Of the planet. Going up to the Revenant.
Revenant.
It's like a Revenant, but it's French.
Going up to the Revenant and issuing it a command. It's
Okay.
just like unhand my servant. It's more like unhand my servant.
Do you know hair?
No.
Nope.
No, it doesn't care. Okay.
Well, to be fair, it is also in the middle of a fight, and there's a lot of humming and kind of lightning coming off of Memnon in a minute.
All right.
And he lets out a gout of lightning.
Okay.
To which the Revenant actually dodged most of it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Fucker. Wow, that's kind of an embarrassing amount of damage that he's taking.
That's actually really clever. Wait, did I come up?
You made me think of it. But yeah, like I kind of thought maybe the magic would be important, but apparently just okay. All right, just pitch it over the railing.
Oh boy. Just pitch it over the railing. Just pitch it.
Just pitch it over the railing, she said.
Hey!
fidgetal at the railing. They says. Uh,
That just sounds wrong.
no, it doesn't. All right. Well, it's not my turn right now.
Okay, so
On my
he
turn,
lets
I
it
search
like
for
he lets out a gout of lightning, and the revenant actually kind of spins with it, gets clipped in the shoulder, and like takes his axe, and he just as he spins, kind of comes up to just behind Memnon and buries the axe right in his back. And he's just like you hear him kind of gasp for air, and he drops.
Oh.
Was that Memnon who cast for Aaron drops, or was that the Revenant?
No, Memnon.
Shit.
Okay.
Birch.
Okay, so it has not been 10 minutes, so this magic shit is still active. Is there anything equivalent to the doorway gem on my side of the door? Is there anything that looks like magical void, like it's absorbing magic? No. Okay.
Have you put something in the bell jar to replace the book that was removed?
That wasn't what triggered it. It was taking it out of the room and putting it back didn't do anything.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm gonna try putting the book in the bell jar.
Okay, you put the book back in the bell jar and put the thing back over, and everything's still going on.
Fuck, okay. Look for clothes. No, look for anything that looks like anything else that's got the family crest on it. That would not require destroying property. Because I suspect that would also cause issues.
Yeah, I mean, like there's the family crest like up on the above like the bookshelves and stuff like that, but it's not
wearable.
Yeah.
Time I can't heal via range. Okay, I was just yelling at you to get between the Revenant and Memnon.
Sorry, that. Thank you. So putting myself between the Revenant and Memnon.
And I'm basically looking for other things to make a forged family
Is it
crest.
still attacking?
not Memnon.
It's attacking.
He dropped,
Oh, right.
so he's now walking towards the door.
Oh, okay. Break the gem.
Shoot it.
Make an attack roll.
I don't get advantage with the crossbow, do I?
You do not.
But that was my first
That was
action.
a natural one.
Yeah, you just missed.
Yeah. Can I still take a swing at it with my short sword?
It's out of reach.
Okay, second. Would the other crossbow be workable?
Other crossbow?
Yeah, that's it.
You have a light crossbow, but no, like not as a second attack. No, because you use the hand crossbow as the.
Oh,
No, let me do this, please.
I was just gonna say I make my clothes look like Reinhardt clothes.
I mean, you have one other ranged weapon, but which could technically work.
Is that the...
Dagger.
Oh, that's what's looking at. Okay. Why not? 14?
No, it is a small ass target that you're trying to hit.
Yeah. Sorry, Birch, it's up to you.
How am I supposed to destroy it through the wall that bounces everything back?
Well, you get on this side of the wall, and then we'll worry about it.
I lean against the purple thing.
Oh, you can't get out.
No, I can't get out.
Stop that.
So, well, I'm gonna see if I can find anything that we can like drape. I'd like to heal Memnon. Like, Okay, well, I'm running around and I'm trying to find something we can, like, drape over him later to, make the Revenants think part of the household.
Alright, well.
Oh.
I got plan.
Also, I did the clothing shifting one. I saw it worked.
Cool.
How's the yell lady there?
So the Revenant walks through the shield.
Oh. Swords out.
Okay.
Please don't attack.
It is your go.
Is the shield work? No. Can I put my turn on hold? Is that something you can do in D&D?
I mean, yeah, technically.
Okay.
You can also I would also allow an insight check. Okay. You get a very brief, just a flash, because your brain is kind of going like, member of the family. Apparently doesn't apply to adopted members of the clan, but it should have the same reaction to members of the household. So you start going through members of households, like the maid, the chamber service, the chamber, and you come to the head of house, the owner of the property. That would count.
Deed.
Deed doesn't have a signature to it.
What?
You need to sign it.
I'll go to the magic desk with the magic ink and sign it with that.
Okay, so as this thing is going forward, it's got its now bloodied axe and its sword, and you're just like, and literally as the pen just ink kind of glows, the shield drops and its axe just.
March, the genius!
Book heal! Like booking it out to Memnon and healing.
Oh, I get it. Booking it out. Because of the...
Okay.
Casting heal.
It's the book.
Yeah, we're there.
I do a whopping 6 points.
All right. And you just kind of hear him just kind of taking a ragged breath.
Oh good! You're not dead! Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're all gonna hide in the room with only one entrance. And you guard.
Okay.
You sleep.
Alright.
Elf, drag Memnon into the guardable room.
I drag him in.
Okay.
And also, if the Revenant did not leave the study, we're going into the storage room. If the Revenant left the study,
The Revenant is just kind of like looking at you.
I'm just worried it'll attack Memnon again. So, like, oh wait, hold on a second. Can you? Does it seem to actually be listening to me?
It's difficult to tell because undead face.
Fair enough. Please leave.
It's off.
Yeah, that worked. Okay, dragging Memnon into the study.
Memnon's awake. He's just
Okay,
he's
helping.
not happy and hurting, and it looks like he's like fumbling for like the latches. I mean, because he's wearing half plate,
Yeah.
so he's kind of like fumbling for the latches on his armor so he can actually sleep.
Okay, I'm also do another cure wounds because if we're sleeping, they're going to be fixed anyway. So another 9 points. And I am out of spells, unless there's a rat around I can talk to.
No.
So I am I'm standing guard.
Okay.
So my point here is long rest.
Okay. As you're kind of standing guard, and as you're make sure that like Memnon gets out of his armor and he's resting comfortably.
Bedroll.
The two revenants kind of like walk up to the room. They stop when they see you. Their hands go on their respective weapons. They look at you, and then they look over. They look through the door.
They're my guests.
And they just turn around and assume a guard position to the outside of the door.
Do you still need me to guard? You already have a pair here. I mean, I would like sleep too.
This is not what you want us to have us all sleeping?
What are they gonna do? They'll do nothing. You told them to do wait here. They're waiting here. You told them not to.
I know, it's just waking me up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're being waked up, so I have to stay up for the next 8 hours. Oh, you know what? No. The shift is over. Going inside, closing the door, walking by the residents. It's like, Mom, I'm glad you're not dead. Keep not dying. This good will come. I would offer you a little flask of my ale, but I know you would turn it down because you are very proud. And I respect your pride.
He's also asleep.
Steps over, Memnon, pulls over,
Do you even need a rest? Don't you have like everything still active? Have you
Well, I mean, yes, and yes, he does. They don't have spells or anything like that need to be really recharged. But y'all have been up for more than 12 hours.
Wait, we have?
Yeah.
Well, not that you know of, but that trap room.
So I'm pulling down one of the tapestries. It's now a makeshift blanket. I'm putting some.
If you have an if you have an explorer's pack, you have.
Oh, then I'm using bedroll. Smooth it out. Hello. Okay, going. Good night, Lorach. I'm happy that you're now a member of the gentry. Curls up, snoring contentedly.
Down, trying to sleep.
Given the level of panic, anxiety, and exhaustion that you've gone through in the past hour alone, you pass out relatively quickly.
Oh, good. Okay, so take long rest. Yay. Confirm. Yay. Any interruptions? No?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
I'm half expecting when we wake up to hear the sounds of like music playing in the background and the roosters crowing, classic music they do with cartoons. The animated birds perching at the windows. Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
Me or not?
You. It's fine. Yeah, you.
Yes. Good morning, birds. We could just say, "Wilmo, are you awake?" And I would say, "Yes, I am awake."
Well, I'm thinking breakfast is probably a good idea, and it does not sound like Memnon is a great cook.
It's not. Let's still see about breakfast.
You stay with him?
Sure.
Yeah, Memnon's not there.
Are there any signs of where he would have gone?
Not really.
No. Okay.
Are the guards still there?
Yep.
Where did friend go?
He actually walks over to the ledge and points to the one level down. And you can see looks like a lantern's been lit.
Where's the kitchen? That's the kitchen. Alright, I'm gonna go where the lantern is.
Okay.
Memnon!
What?
We're going to the kitchen!
Still left.
I know! Was that him who responded? Do you want some food?
No, I'm good.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be in the kitchen if you need us. What are you doing down there?
Kind of comes out and he has a couple new swords that he's selling at. Found the armory.
Great.
Looking.
We'll take a look after breakfast.
Walks back in.
I'm gonna go make food.
All right.
Presumably, I'm more used to going to the kitchen for the cooking tools.
Yeah.
My preserves.
They do not.
Okay.
But everything is still within working order. It's the cool thing about having like coal and oil. It doesn't
really age.
age or go bad. So most you have to do is kind of like wash things off. So that's about it.
So
Turn the food rations I have into slightly more palatable food rations.
I'm doing the same thing. It's like
So the two of you have like a cooking montage.
washing, cleaning, oil, frying.
And it's just like a weird montage of like, you know, it would go good with this jerky. More jerky. If you wrap this turkey jerky around beef jerky,
Oh my God.
it's like it, because you work with what you've got, right?
Yeah,
and what you have is not much.
And yet somehow it's good enough.
Yeah.
Alright, back to the armory.
It's enough to make you think, you know,
should do this with real food.
this would be better if we had real food.
You know what goes well for Count Chocula? When you don't have milk, orange juice. We've all done that as kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
Accidentally grab the orange juice.
Yeah.
My mistake was like I grabbed the orange juice, started pouring. Oh, that's not milk. Grab the milk. That's worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, cheese cereal.
Everyone gets one of those.
Ugh.
Only one.
The time I discovered that milk turns into cheese was with a berry tea.
No, I don't know. Okay, so jerky montage, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so snacking on the food and heading over to the armory.
Okay. So you find the stair. You find the stairs and head one level down, which is like each level is the roofs are like the ceiling from ceiling to floor is about 50 feet.
Okay.
Like it's a large level. You get down and the armory is pretty vast. A lot, and there's a lot of stuff there that is ornamental. There's a lot of stuff that's in a case. It's got like a like of hunter. This person's name from a couple hundred years ago, that sort of stuff, and you're looking at it going, "Wow, people actually wore that on purpose."
Not look comfortable. Moving on.
Okay.
Anything good?
No. Shoot.
Jerky?
What did I just...
Wrapped another jerky?
No, I got that back.
From McDonald's.
Can you look around and do some shopping? If there's anything that might be of interest to me.
I'm going to say that there is at least one thing of interest for everyone.
That makes sense.
I am not going to... We can discuss that after game.
Is this going to be like a briefcase of Pulp Fiction where you never see what's in it, but you open up the case and it's just the radiant glow? This is the greatest thing ever! Look at the thing! It's the thing of my dreams! Imagine what you could do with the thing!
Never does anything.
Kind of, but like effectively you'll have it for next game.
Okay.
So if you put it in a briefcase with a glow light, then yes, it can be do that. But
you do. The both of you, well, technically all three of you, do level up. That was. Revenants are technically only challenge rating 5, but fuck, they hit hard. They hit very hard.
Yep.
And the rabbit coming back. We are really sorry. I don't know if this understand. Oh, I don't think he's letting it go.
You
No.
Okay.
Since he seems short to now, so.
So looking around the armory, ooh, shiny, lots of pretty things.
pretty much.
Also something else I want to find is like I assume at some point there's like a map or a diagram of what this place's layout actually is.
You are here.
It probably won't have a "you are here" button because generally they're designed to be able to be moved. And if it's not designed to be moved, I will take a copy of it. Or make a copy of it, rather. Or I will try. My clothes are gonna end up looking so weird.
Yeah, it looks like they were whoever designed this specific spot, Grimnell, you immediately spot the work of dwarves.
You okay?
Because
Sorry, you said what?
you spot the work of dwarves.
Okay.
Like like the walls of this place.
Yeah.
It's very clearly dwarven made, and the only reason you know that is because the deeper you go underground, the less damage to the structure there is.
Okay.
As you're looking at it, it looks like someone has taken like a tower and just
Castleified it?
look. No, they just moved it under. Like the
Okay.
tower normally goes above ground. They just
Sure.
they put it underground, and then they had the manor house over top of that. So everything that would be valuable and needed to be protected, like the last 2 levels, is the mausoleum.
So basically, they've got an underground tower dungeon. But, you know.
Yes,
tower.
it's not like a dungeon, much less. It's like an underground tower. Like the tower just goes down rather than up.
Okay.
But it does mark that the last 2 levels are. It's a mausoleum. Like, and given how big each level is, you're guessing like each internment takes up like the traditional like 4 square. So it would be stacked on top of one another. And if it's generational, then there's going to be a lot.
Loved it. Okay. So lots of dead people there for the revenants to have fun with. Probably most of the valuables down there too. But if it's not a dungeon, and they had a tendency of keeping monsters and studying them, as the mimic suggests, are they somewhere else, or are they in there too?
There is another. You find a bigger layout of the manor itself. On the other side of it is what in Old Common would be referred to now as like a laboratory.
Lots of vents. Okay.
Pretty much. But given the they're like in the on a whim, you crack open the codex, it just is like Reinhardt Laboratory, and it brings up the thing, and it actually states during the fall, it was critically damaged.
Anything still in it, like monster wise? No, everything escaped. Okay.
Well, the only thing that was technically still alive there was the alpha mimic, because they couldn't. There was like an odd sense of not sentimentality, but like empathy towards it, because it may have been the first of its kind, and there's like we're dicks, but we don't want to kill it. Like like it was one of those things that like the member of the family like a couple thousand years ago that captured this thing captured it for a reason, because he didn't want to kill it.
Right. Yep.
Like he wanted, like they wanted, like because there was like the husband and wife, like they wanted to stop it, but they didn't want to kill it.
Right. Okay.
And it's weird that as bad as the family got over time, like it pretty much it was the same right up until they were knighted, and then they just became rich white folk. And I say like rich white folk is in like how the stereotype, because there are many different like skin tones, and didn't matter. They just became rich gentrified jackasses, all of them. As bad as they got, every one of them.
Love it.
Yep. Like there was an original decree by the matriarch and the patriarch of the family that this thing stays alive.
Whoops.
And they were just like, "Yep, okay."
Okay.
Now, to be like the one thing in your guys' defense, it was trying to eat you. So like,
It started it.
yeah, it's like you don't necessarily like you feel bad that it's dead, but at the same time, hammer me.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got a map of the keep essentially. Is there anything indicating the surrounding area? Because, as far as I understand, we're in the middle of, like, an impenetrable forest.
Yeah.
So, other than the underground shortcut, is there any indications of the area, how to get through it, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Members of the family can get through, no problem.
Good. Oh, sweet. Okay. I hope that magic applies too. Okay. Probably put a couple quick notes on if there's like a map or.
You also do notice the treasury. Not like where that is.
Should probably look at treasury to see if there's treasury.
The treasury is actually underneath the manor. It's not a part of the tower.
Oh, that's weird. I would have expected to be in the tower. Alright, go take a look.
Alright, so about once you get out of the tower and into the manor itself, the manor is in all kinds of disrepair. Like it was burnt down. Like the ceiling is now part of the floor because on the upland you have a beautiful skylight. But you eventually find that like it's like going through the burnt out carcass of Wayne Manor. Like once that bookshelf is gone, you see a staircase. Oh, look at that.
Oh, good. Well, I think it's more probably that we don't have anyone there right now because Kappa said they were leaving. But all right, I'll check and see if it's an issue with that. Okay, so going down to the it's not the laboratory, it's the treasure. There we go.
But yeah, like it's weird. You get close to certain doors, and you can see like a brief shimmer of magic, and then the door kind of cracks open.
Cute. Okay. Through the doors. So still heading towards the. So I figure it's whatever that was over the other one, and so me signing the deed was apparently pretty useful. Okay, yeah, no, it's actually during the shed is completely empty in here, so yeah, no, it looks like no one's talking.
Okay.
So when you open the door, it's pitch because you are at this point underground again.
Low light, Saul.
And you do that like Gandalf thing where you kind of light up, and you're kind of standing on like a staircase and kind of tapping on the bottom, and it kind of raises. And much in the same way of Erebor's treasure room, it barely has a floor. It's just gold. There are paths of stone.
Okay.
But there's just gold.
Jesus fuck. So I guess they didn't find this when they burnt it.
No. Huh.
Yeah.
You're very good, Stretch.
I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with all this.
Well, you just made an enemy.
You?
Demetrius.
Oh, yes.
This would fuel his war machine for over a decade.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to tip off that we found it.
The orc tribes, they would just be slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, the forest is
Impenetrable unless you're a member of the family.
and there is now a legitimate member of the family. What if you adopted them? If they needed a place to hole up for winter, they could just crash in the forest.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Or
That might also that might be a pride issue too. I mean, at the very least, I could declare them guests.
Or, I mean, you could declare them guests. Or, what you could do is purchase the town from White House. It's technically his now.
Yeah, but that's definitely flagging that we have the money.
This is going to be the thing where no matter what we do, Demetrius is always going to be a problem.
Demetrius was a problem the day he was born.
So that is yes.
Yeah. Especially if the rumors are true.
Rumors?
Yeah.
That they killed his parents?
Yeah.
So what happens if we something unfortunate happens to Demetrius? What is to stop the next Demetrius from taking the place?
All right. Let me explain something. As a paladin, what I believe is a devotion to a cause, and my cause is justice. Committing regicide, no matter if it's a tyrant, I cannot be a part of.
I know, I said that. What would happen? I'm not saying we do anything to it. No.
How would that not be justice if he did kill his parents?
That's also very true.
Old adage of two wrongs not making a right. Committing murder to kill a murderer does not decrease the amount of murderers in the world. And no, murdering more murderers does not equal it out.
Actually, I was going to say, technically it does decrease the number of murderers if the person who does it is already a murderer. Not actually addressing the real point, but...
Look, while my path does not and cannot condone regicide,
he's got to be dealt with.
absolutely.
I don't know enough about your guys' monarchy to know if there's any way other than regicide to deal with it.
I can maybe introduce you to a few people that could get it done, but
I also have serious qualms about killing someone who hasn't actually done anything yet.
trust me, it's just because he hasn't done anything to you.
Doesn't mean he hasn't done anything.
For example, if he's been looking at the, if he's been looking for a way to find those missing children, tip of the iceberg. Everything that you have ever done to put a stop to led to here. And it's all because of his war effort.
So that's long-term problems.
It's very big, long term.
Right?
Either of you know a trustworthy craftsman who can fix up the house?
Do I? known really well in my community, which is all blue collar.
Because I feel like that's probably step one to making this place usable.
Because my wife and myself, we should still have contacts in the community, no dwarves.
Make a history roll with advantage. Because it's a remembering roll.
20's not bad. And it's better than 12.
Alright, yes.
Okay.
There is, if you continue going further, east, there is a small community of hill dwarves.
Okay, so I go into a lot of, well, not exuberant detail, but I relay that information.
I'm worried about secrecy. Like, do you know anyone who would be able to keep their mouth shut and keep and do a small enough job that it's not traceable? Like, supplies and whatnot are gonna be people are gonna notice if a whole bunch of fancy materials suddenly start getting shipped into the forest.
What kind of fancy materials are you looking for?
Well, I'm not thinking fancy, but
what do you need? Wood? Stone? You're surrounded by a forest at the foothills of a mountain.
Yes, but if we start chopping down the forest in noticeable ways.
Not from the inside.
True.
This forest has not been touched in roughly a century. So the trees in your immediate surrounding the manor, while relatively new, are over a century old.
Well, I think the thing is not so much the materials is the problem, but it's the quality.
yeah.
If an entire community of workers just shows up, that means they're not working, they're somewhere else, maybe less questions. But I don't know. We talk to them. The rich people have discrete jobs done all the time.
That, actually, make another history roll. And again, with advantage. Because you may have just caused a light bulb in your own head to go off.
The 12, let's talk about the 20 next.
No. 12.
12, the 12 is good enough. Like, when you say, rich people, they get jobs like that, and humans don't hire, especially Demetrius, who is not, he's never outwardly stated that he doesn't like non-humans, but everyone he's ever been ever hired has been high-class artisans from Bellicor.
Okay.
Because he wants everything to be top of the line.
Mm-hmm.
He wants everything to be, human. There's a good to fair chance that he wouldn't notice. Nobody care.
Okay.
Because those hill dwarves, the moment that happened, they cut ties. They were like, we are not working for that asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Demetrius has never once reached out. You'd have heard about it because there's a couple of people that you're related to, kind of by one or two steps, and you would have heard about it because they would have sent word of oh, you will not believe what just happened,
So,
and you would have got an earful of gossip.
Okay. So, would we hire?
So hire a handful of people to fix up the manor.
This is going to take more than a handful of people.
Why not just just grab the community and bring them in?
Well,
The hill dwarves, they'd be able to survive in the forest.
Yeah. We could also employ. That is your property. I'd not tell you what to do. But it's a good idea to have the hill dwarves. Maybe have the orcs also come over and stay in the forest. They can make sure nothing happens to the dwarves. The dwarves can focus on their work. Not like overseers.
Tell you what. How's this for a plan? You send word to your dwarven friends to send a negotiator to talk to Birch. I'll go with you back to town. I'll have to separate there to talk to a few contacts. Find out how much White House wants to take the town off of your hands so it becomes your problem.
Criminal understands. I don't understand.
He's basically saying how much is it going to cost to buy the town because it's actually more of a headache than it's worth.
White House is the moment you have a feeling the moment White House finds out that the town isn't fine, like he probably already knows now because his man came back.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment he's probably already trying to pawn it off to other people.
So what's the advantage of me taking control of the town?
You own a town.
You own a town, and
All
it's
of
also
these-
the secret entrance to this.
Got it.
You also
Okay.
you have a way to smuggle workers into the place that needs to be fixed, and B, you know a certain orc chieftain who's going to be literally out in the middle of the plains in the middle of nowhere that has nowhere to go. If they take up shop in a town that you happen to own legally,
Mm-hmm.
if Vrana makes an outward attack, that is a declaration of war.
Because I assume that Verona, and especially the king and prince there, it's a highly legalistic society.
Yep.
So they love their bureaucracy.
Oh god, yeah.
And
Like they're nobles. Like as I said, it's one of those things because White House would never come to the prince and say, "Yeah, this is too much for me. I can't do it," because that would look so.
What I'm
horrible.
worried is that the prince will be, I'm worried about a Trump system. I'll just do the thing because I got the power I can. It doesn't strike me like that kind of.
No, Demetrius he was raised in this society.
Yeah.
So he understands the benefit of having other people do the work for you,
Okay.
which is exactly what he would think is happening.
So I'm totally gonna do the talking on top.
Okay, so try and talk about the town. If you're gonna do that, try and talk about the town like you're taking over a liability and you won't from White House, because that's what White House is gonna see it.
What's not gonna hurt is his man coming back with news of what the town looked like afterwards.
Yeah.
After the mimic is dead.
Maybe if I pitch something like, okay, instead of, well, you negotiated the thing. Okay, I go in there. I say, what do? I say I take town off their hands. This garbage town. How do I do this? I don't negotiate.
Say you've got some savings from your from your family, and you're wanting to set up you're wanting to set up a small lordship, but you're hoping for the farming town needs someone to oversee it, and it's in absolute disrepair, and the White House doesn't want it.
I go. I say I'm
I
back
can
from
do you a
town.
favor.
Town is garbage town. It's too bad. The little work, it could be nice town. I've been looking for a place to get out, to get away from the city. I have a little bit of money. It'd be nice when my daughter comes back from adventuring.
See what you can that'll work.
Yeah. As long as you make it seem like his idea.
Yeah.
If you can spin it to make it seem like it was something that you're looking for but never outwardly asked for it. Because the moment you ask for it, he's going to jack the price.
Of course, it'd be like, that's garbage sounds too bad. I will look like you look for something like this when you want to get away from the city, settle down, enjoy the rest of your days. I know I'm still young, but this life is too hard. But I've got bounties to catch. What can I do about it?
There is one thing you might be able to use.
Okay.
Alright, so the moment when you first started your jobs in the town, I did some digging on the pair of you.
Mm-hmm.
You are the only reason that block has not been bought because you refused to sell your house.
Mm-hmm.
Want to wager a gold piece as to who's been trying to buy it?
But still.
You want to sell your house?
I mean, at this point, the taxes are just going to keep going. And quite frankly, if you keep paying, they're going to start wondering where the money's coming from anyway.
I know it's sentimental, but
I know.
I know modern houses, some of them you can actually like pick up and move. I'm guessing that is not the case.
This is not that.
I think that's
Fair enough.
after a good meal. And not the beef jerky. I mean,
A real meal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you how potatoes actually should be cooked.
Right.
Remember our previous conversation? You were like, you put them in water?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What else do you put them in?
Oh, my dwarven soul. And you just turn it up hotter so it cooks faster, right?
Well, you don't have to put them in water. You can just put them in fire and just bake them. I had a friend who actually just had like this really, really thin metal. He'd kind of wrap it in the thing and he'd put it in there. He'd put cheese
I mean,
in
yes,
it.
that is a method. But when someone asks if you make good potatoes, that is not the method.
Well, no, you'd pick them fresh. That'd be the good potatoes.
Okay, you do know one step.
Yeah. I did have one friend who actually made alcohol. It was. I'll be honest, I don't remember much. But the.
Oh, Jesus, reminds me of like I think it was the British show Two Fat Women, where like every ingredient was like half a bottle of wine. It doesn't like every recipe was half a bottle of wine. It doesn't matter what it was.
And the other half is for the cook.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
What are you making? Pancakes. Ah.
Woo!
I love British cooking. There's nothing healthy about it whatsoever.
Okay, so if you sell your house and that whole block is getting bought out, where are those people gonna go? Presumably, they live there and have to go live somewhere else.
True.
So it might be easy to recruit them to said new village.
Through cruelty will invite.
Invite, yes.
Okay, so this is going to take more than one day.
Yeah.
This way would be to throw party up less
No.
more.
No, easy. Talk to each and every one of them. Tell them that you have a town that is open. That effectively has open houses. It's completely abandoned, but the threat has been completely neutralized. You do not tell anyone else but those people on that property.
And that
Once they have gone, you are the sole person living on that block. Whitehouse himself is going to come to you.
That's a good
And
idea.
when he offers you, makes you an offer, look at him and say, "Where will I go?"
Oh, I like that. Just like that.
But the problem is they won't be able to. If he can't offer the village unless we have the wait, if we have camped out here, we can just put them here instead of in the village temporarily.
Ask the Codex where the White House, where the Reinhardt estate, the land.
What is the actual land of the Rhinehouse estate?
So it shows you like a topographical map of the manor, and the forest, and the town. And
wait, so the town we were just in is on that?
Yeah. Legally speaking.
Legally
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look, we already technically own it.
So and it also owns like about like 100 acres outward. Like it is a large chunk of land.
Okay.
Legally speaking, you already own it. So, I mean, because White House doesn't know that, and is under the assumption that he currently owns it because the king decreed it.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that this town and this manor and this particular bit of land is outside of Vrana's borders.
Wait, okay, so Vrana is just a city. It's not like
Vrana is a city. It also has a surrounding territory, but it doesn't reach here.
So the king's decree is actually worthless. Other than the fact that he's got the military might to back it up.
Yes and no. The town had It was a business arrangement. It was a business arrangement. This just the fact that the townspeople were all murdered worked in Demetrius's favor. Because there's no one around to refute the bill.
We need to talk to your friends first, because the second he realizes we're doing this, we need some sort of defense.
I can send a raven.
Problems.
I'll just tell them to keep the town within a day's ride of a scout, just so that they don't see the entire tribe moving towards the area. Because if they see that, they'll move.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I can send the other raven will be towards the dwarves with your name affixed to it.
Where do we want to set up a meeting spot? I guess I can just head there.
So where?
The Hillfort settlement?
I know the perfect place.
Okay.
In that Dwarf settlement, there is a tavern. They have good reputation and repute.
So by tavern you mean brothel?
Oh, I mean tavern.
Then why does it have an ill repute?
Well,
I think it depends on whether or not you're a dwarf.
let's just say that whatever you do did not criticize the cooking, and it is the best meal you have ever had, even if it is not the best meal you have ever had, whether it will end bad.
Am I gonna hate the food?
No, the food is very good, but let's just say Agatha is very passionate and temperamental. So mind your manners.
Okay.
She may also have her age issues.
May.
Okay.
It's the tavern's name is called the Lusty Stag.
Are you just making up these names so they're all the same?
No, I'm not. Was the Lusty Blubber not good? It was alright. It was good. No, come on.
It was good for human food.
It was good.
Alright, so you've spent the better part of a half an hour over the course of a couple of days criticizing my ability, or rather inability, to cook a potato. And now you're claiming that human food is something to write home about. Make up your mind, Butch.
No, she cooks dwarven food and orc food and maxi food.
Alright. Look, I've got to long ride.
I thought you said you were just going to run. That's not that long.
If we're doing what I think we're going to be doing, I need to go to Bellicor.
Okay, wait,
So
what? Okay.
we're going to dwarves first.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to Bellicor because I know a few people that may or may not be able to commit said register.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, we're gonna go to the Lusty Stag, talk to dwarves, and
This all needs to happen at the same time.
okay, we are going to one. So I'm going back to the city to negotiate the thing. Then we're going to deal with the old dwarves.
No, you're going to the city.
Okay.
I'm going to the Hill Dwarfs.
Oh boy.
This needs to happen at the exact same time. These are noble bureaucrats. If they're given any moment
Yes.
of respite,
Wait, can't we get? Hold on a second. Yeah, no, we don't want to give them time to start settling up in that town.
Oh, so here we go.
Yep. Okay.
I'm gonna just give you some notes. Lusty Stag, Agatha is cook. Stay away from veal. Everything else is good on menu.
Do we want to give you a map of the Reinhardt estate so that if
Please do.
white
So I'm gonna do that monster.
stone starts being pushy about the town,
So-
you just point out that he doesn't technically own it?
So can I just make a
No.
quick history roll and write down anything important that Birch might need in dealing?
You're dealing with dwarves. You've dealt with dwarves. You've dealt with dwarves before. You've been hanging around.
Yeah,
Grimlock
but
for a
there's
little.
dealing with dwarves and somebody who knows that community.
Well, hence you're sending a raven around, a raven ahead of time. She's not good.
Okay,
She's not
right,
just showing up and saying, "I'd like to talk to you." Like no, the raven has a note that's setting up the meeting.
Okay.
Once the meeting is done, right? And even
got
drunken dwarves are all business.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
As far as it's like when you mentioned that, Memnon kind of shakes, says, "I wouldn't.
No.
No, that is a last resort.
Okay. So
If they know that you own it, you become a target. You're a singular person. If they think that they own it, they think that they have the upper hand, which means they'll be ever so arrogant about it, which you can use in your advantage."
okay. Well,
Okay.
that's up to you.
All right. Well, I need to get going.
Mm.
I'm going to the city and negotiate with Whitestone.
Just just let them know that the job's still ongoing. There's monsters kicking around the town. It is an absolute shit show.
And you need somebody there all the time to keep it big.
Well, you don't necessarily need someone there all the time. It's just going to be
There's
months on end.
monsters.
It's not going
It's
to be.
falling apart. Like it's
falling apart. There's occasional monsters coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do this.
All right.
I'm gonna be doing that thing on the horse on the way back, where I'm rehearsing my lines.
I was thinking of setting up shop somewhere outside the city,
I was thinking about
and I was wondering if maybe this would be. It's a mess. I don't know.
Mr. Whitestone, so good to see you. Not too formal. Whitestone, my friend. No, too formal.
Do info.
Oh, why? Good to see you. Smile. I'll never believe it.
What do you think of Smile?
Don't do that.
No.
Okay.
So, like, what do you think of my smile?
Better than the last one.
Yeah.
All right. Smile number.
Also known as not a smile.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're basically trying to negotiate for the whole village. After you've talked to all your neighbors and they've conveniently vanished, not to the village, but to like an area we'll have guarded and with camp set up from the hill dwarfs. So basically, we need to. Okay, so here's the map. There's the village.
Mhm.
Here's the manor.
Mhm.
Where would be a good place to set up a temporary like camp spot, essentially, before they actually can officially start staying and fixing up the village.
If they're guests inside the forest.
Yeah.
I'm looking for like clearings in the forest or something like that.
I'm not entirely sure how it works, but from the stories that I've heard, declare them guests.
Looks like a fresh source. Good for camping.
Good thought. Okay. Maybe I'll go to the study with the magic room. If you can, when you're in town, if you can buy a bunch of paper, because paper here is
It's actually dust.
yes.
The paper
It's just
is
there's just dust holding hands. You touch the paper.
Why did it scream?
I think it was the dust dying.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is going to be the plan.
All right.
Okay.
And
And then change your outfit once you're out of there.
I'm just imagining that, as I'm riding off into the distance with the horse, there's a saddlebag, that glow, that mystery item from the army is still in it. Boy, I can't wait to get this in use. That thing. This is of all the ones I've ever seen, this is the best and
one.
the cutscene
Yeah.
is.
Are you saying one?
What is it?
So, did you want to go for another half hour? Because it's 10 now.
I'm kind of tapped out.
I think we're pretty much
We're in a good spot. We're in
Yeah.
a good spot.
Yeah.
We can like where
This
everyone's
is a
kind of
nice
going
place
into the
to do
direction.
so.
So yeah, we can call it there.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
Good.
Cheers.
Actually, we got a level.
Oh yeah.
We got
Oh yeah.
it.
You already should have already leveled. So.
Levels.
But kind of awkward to do that during game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess we are done, and we'll see everyone next week.
Hey.
Alright, take care.
Thank you.